Hey guys, Brendan here, and I'm currently standing in what is soon to be my reptile room. Now, I'm going to be making a video on that soon once everything gets set up. That's going to be a long and expensive process, but this video is about something different. Now, there has been a string of reptile bans affecting the reptile hobby recently. Now, if you've seen any of the most recent videos from people such as Reptiles, Wicked Reptiles, which is the video that inspired me to make this, you'll notice that the bans are coming fast and heavy. Tegus, pythons, all kinds of animals that are commonly kept in the hobby are starting to be banned for breeding, for future keeping, so on. I do believe they grandfathered it in for Florida, so if you already have it, you can keep it. So you might be thinking, okay, these are animals that are invasive. These are animals that pose a threat to the local wildlife. So why would you be against the ban? The reason why us reptile keepers are against the ban because it's punishing those who keep these animals responsibly. Which, if you're keeping reptiles, you should be keeping them responsibly. I think we can all agree that if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, you're a jerk. Also, you should not be taking your animals and just kind of going, oh, here's a road, let me just dump my giant snake onto the middle of the road. Who cares? I mean, that's what a lot of people do. And that's why a lot of these politicians are like, well, we have a problem with them and we need to get rid of them. So let's punish the people who are keeping them responsibly. Exaggerated voice, but I'm sure some of them sound like that. It's Florida. Anyways, let me just, yeah. So, the main concern and the reason why I'm making this is because educators, people who actually keep these animals responsibly, people who breed these animals, and that's their livelihood, they're being affected. And they didn't even consult the idea of licensing. I mean, I'm all in favor for it. If you have an animal that can become invasive, you should get it licensed, just like you would a dog or any other animal for that matter. It makes sense, but they completely ignored that and just said, no breeding, no nothing, which means a lot of these people who breed these for a living are basically going to be kicked out of their livelihood, their passion, their career. I mean, a lot of these people have been doing this for decades upon decades upon decades. So, what's the solution? The solution is to fight these legislators and say, hey, we can definitely do this better. Why don't we do licensing? Why don't you talk to experts? Why don't we talk to biologists? Why don't we try to keep track of the people who are doing things they shouldn't be? The problem is that if we ban this, the black market's going to rise because people still want these animals. People still want tegus. People still want big snakes. I mean, people still want these animals. And so the number of undocumented animals is just going to go up. We're going to have more big snakes roaming around that we have no clue how the hell they got here. We're going to have more tegus roaming around that we have no clue how the hell they got here. It's going to be a recurring issue, and it's going to only make the problem worse. Whereas if we have licensing and keep it legal, people are going to be more inclined to apply for a license than they are to just get it smuggled in by some guy with a white van painted reptiles on the side or something, you know? That's the concern. Now, I'm not great at explaining when it comes to legal stuff. What I can say is, if you're interested in helping keep the reptile hobby going and protect these people who are dedicating their lives to the hobby, I dropped a link below for USArk, which is a great organization that protects the rights of people like myself, so I can have something like a reptile room and make videos and show you guys these animals. Obviously, I know I don't have a huge collection. Obviously, I don't keep any of the species that are mentioned yet, but the right to keep these animals should exist, and the right to educate on these animals should exist, and the right to keep these animals being bred in captivity, that way people are not continuing to bring them in from the wild, should exist. It's only helping the animals and the hobby and people in the long run. So I appreciate you guys watching. We're going to get back to more of the regular content soon. I just wanted to chime in on this issue because it's something that affects me and everybody else who's likely watching who is a fan of reptiles. Thanks, guys. Brendan. Reptile room video coming soon. Bye, guys.